Hello YouTube, welcome back to another edition of ManCave Astronomy. Tonight we're going to be talking about the hand box. And basically we're going to start out a series of videos on how to use your hand box, how to go through it, navigate through it, get yourself real familiar with all the little gadgets and gadgets and hoopla that's in there. That's what this series, hopefully in the next 3 or 4, probably 5 or 10 videos, knowing me, but is gonna start covering. We're gonna start doling into that, and basically what you need is your mount set up, plugged in. We got our wall plug in. You don't need your telescope. You need your hand box plugged up, and as you can see here, we have an extra cable hanging out here. And basically what this is a 4-pin basically phone cable, and it's a RS32 I think is the label on it, but anyway you'll have to match it up, and it's 4-pin. It's just a telephone jack looking cable. And what you'll need other than that is this wonderful USB to serial port adapter that I picked up at Best Buy, and it wasn't cheap. Arm and a leg, it was about 30 bucks, and you've got to have this, not unless you've got a really old laptop. You've got to have this to be able to convert the serial cable that the phone plug-in plugs into over to a USB for any new type laptop. And while we're speaking about that, the other thing too is, if your LXD75 come with the planetary imager, the little USB camera, if you've got Windows 7, just home or office, not unless you have Windows 7 Professional, it's no longer going to work. Windows 7 Professional has a conversion program built into it that will make that work. I do not have an extra $300 to spend on an operating system for my computer, so I just got the regular Windows 7, which works great. You know, the software to me wasn't no big deal. I'm not going to upgrade to it. I heard that the imager wasn't that great anyhow, and it's not worth. I can buy a CCD camera almost for what it would cost me to upgrade Windows 7. But I did read a whole bunch in on a lot of people were aggravated, so to speak, on why it wouldn't work and all the fits they had would go into Windows 7, why their planetary imager wouldn't work. Well, it's because Windows 7 is a 64-bit running program. The software that uses the planetary imager is a 32. It's not compatible. And that was the basic. It's basically out of date. That's just, you know, it's just like your old laptop. It's just out of date, you know. It's like cell phones. It's out of date. You know, technology, basically. That's the culprit. So, but that, you know, that goes inside with our USB to serial port adapter. Pick one of those up and get you your cable here. To plug in, there's 2 ports in the bottom of the hand box. There's your mount out port that goes to your mount, your hand box port, and then you got an extra port over here, which is basically for hooking up a laptop to do updates. And you can also do software guidance, as I like to call it, programs like Stellarium. You might even be able to do Google Sky. I don't know. I've never used Google Sky. Stellarium is a free program. It works good. I'm fairly familiar with that. It's a good program. I like it, so I kind of stick with the things that I like. So that's what that secondary port is. As far as things we're going to cover on this little video is basically we're going to first of all get our software up to date on our hand box. You want to make sure that you've got the latest and greatest software. The current software you should be running in your hand box is version 43EG. That is the latest and greatest software for the hand box that I have. Should be the greatest for the hand box that come with your LXD75. This scope was a previously bought scope, but it it's only about 5 years old, so it was one of the last versions to come out. I did have to upgrade the software. The software was way out of date. And from what little bit I've read, the software update, why we're going ahead and getting this thing up to date, is the periodic error correction and the motor train. From what I think I remember reading, those were two of the updates in the software, so we definitely want to do that. Also, there were some corrections to slewing and different things that I read. And I'm pretty sure when you update or look through on the Meade website, it tells you what the updates are, what the current software is updating. It gives you that information. If you want to be a nerd like me and read through there, you certainly can. However, as you can see, I read it, okay, great, and retain the software in my brain for things like beer and how to show y'all how to use this thing. Basically, that's pretty much, we just need power. We just power up the scope. Your AutoStar hand box lights up. Don't enter time or date or nothing. Don't even waste your time with that. Go ahead and plug in your deal. And one thing you will need is the AutoStar updater, which I'm pretty sure is a link off of Meade to download the software, and that's what's going to let you update your hand box. It should all be through Meade's website. And once you download that, you're ready to go. You're ready to get this thing updated and get it current and up to date as up to date can be. And go and flick your power on. Sorry, I'd already done this on one video, and then my memory card filled up, so I'm starting all over again. Basically just plug your mount up, power it up, and plug in your laptop to your hand box controller. And basically what you'll do, once you've downloaded the updater, this is what it looks like. You got a little screen here, AutoStar updater, and what you do is you come right up here to AutoStar command, and you click connect. And when you connect, it resets your hand box. So that's why I told you earlier, don't worry about putting date and time and anything else in. Just go ahead and just turn it on, plug in your laptop to it, and reach up here and hit the connect button. And it's going to ask you, there we go, let's see it thinking here. You hear the beep, it means it's connecting. And now we get press 0 to align, or mode for menu. We're just going to go straight to mode for menu. Enter, I don't really know that it's about 10, I don't know, it's like 10:15, so we'll just plug it in there. Daylight savings times, no. Okay, now you got your main screen align easy. And basically we're going to start right there. We're just going to put that down now, and we'll come back over here. And what you should want to do on your updater is, there's a little box right under AutoStar updater, upgrade AutoStar software now. Click on it. It's thinking. Okay, now it brings up this little pop-up box, and I know it may be a little hard for you guys to see, and I don't really know that the camera is going to refocus. It don't look like it is, but anyway, it's got a drop down tab here. You select your hand box, which is either a 495 or a 497, and it tells you your current software, which, like I said, current software should be a 43EG. You got two boxes here. You can connect, you can source the upgrading to the hand box from the internet or local. Basically, if you want to download the file to your laptop, you can, or your computer, and then update, or you can just go to click www for the latest version, or excuse me, check www for the numbers, check website for the latest version. And you can see when I click that, it says internet downloading version 43EG from www. And if we look back over here, you can see it's downloading. Do not turn off. So, which I already had that downloaded to it. So now we're going to sit here and piddle our thumbs for 5 minutes while we wait. Hopefully it shouldn't take too long. It takes it about, if I remember right, about 5 to 10 minutes. So while that's going, I'm going to pause this, and as soon as it's done, we'll come back. And the other great thing, all my YouTube viewers that are watching this, I'm going to learn how to use video editing software on this series of videos, because I'm sure there's going to be some bloopers, outtakes, and every time I pause my camera, it starts a new video. So that's something else we get to look forward to, is me running video editing software. But I'm going to pause this and go ahead and download this off of here so I don't fill up my memory card, and we'll be back as soon as it's done downloading. Welcome back. We have finished our download. It is Saturday evening, actually. The download took a little longer than expected. The 15 minutes is certainly excuse me, not an accurate measurement of time by any means for the download. It actually took almost 45 minutes, close to an hour. So it was getting kind of late, so I just powered already stopped the video. So once it finished downloading, I just shut down last night. So anyway, we're back up, we're done. We have finished our download, and basically now it finishes. You just power off the mount and everything. And one error that I don't think I told you about, when we actually hit the upgrade software, we got the little pop-up box. We selected the www update, and you need to go up in the top right corner and hit OK, so it actually starts the download. And down at the bottom of the AutoStar updater, down here, you can actually watch the ticker as it counts the percent that's transferred to the ham box. So like I said, it took about 45 minutes to an hour. But anyway, now that we're done, basically we just disconnect, turn everything off, and you can exit out of this program. Basically, the library and the AutoStar, this is the library of stuff you can plug in off the internet or Meade, and you can select it and transfer it over to your AutoStar controller. Asteroid satellites, comments, landmarks, tours, user objectives, and such like that. I've never really messed with it, so I can't really tell you much anything about it. And then you got exit right here. We'll just click exit out of that screen, and we will start getting into our ham box operation. So now that we're exited out, that's our USB serial link adapter here, our plug, our phone cable. Set that right there. We'll go ahead and unplug and just get all this out of our way for now. We'll just pitch that right over there. Now, let's power off, power back on. As you can see, you get your Meade AutoStar, your version number. Welcome to AutoStar menu. And you get press 0 to align and mode from menu. We're not going to do an alignment because we're inside. It's kind of pointless to do that at this point, so we're going to hit mode, and we're going to set today's date, which is the 15th now. Enter. It is roughly 8 o'clock. So we'll go with that. We'll hit enter. Daylight savings time, no. Enter. Align easy. We're not going to do the alignment, so we'll go to mode, and we get a setup. Hit mode again, and it'll go to select item, and it'll go to setup menu. And we're going to hit enter on the setup menu, and we're back to where we started. And basically on your setup menu, you can scroll down change the time, daylight savings, if you think you made an error. Right here, let me get the camera so I can make sure you guys can see what I'm seeing here. Alright, telescope. We want to hit enter on the telescope. Telescope model, enter. Okay. And we're going to go to LXD75 10, which is what I've got. You can scroll up or down. You know, there's a 8-inch SC, ETX 90, 105, 125, you know, yada yada yada. 127 AC, 152, 6-inch, 8-inch, 10-inch. I've got a 10-inch, so I'm going to select 10-inch. Enter. Okay, we're done. We go back to the main menu, scroll down to AZ and right extension ratio. I have never messed with that, and I wouldn't probably suggest you mess with it either. Alt declination ratio, I don't think that applies considering ours is manual here. Alright, mount. Let's select the mount. Scope mounting, polar. Yes, we do have a polar mount. Which, guess what? There's nothing else to choose from, so we're going to enter it. Focal length. Let's see what we got for focal length. It should already have it plugged in. Yep. 1016 for my 10-inch telescope. That is the correct focal length. So we'll enter it. Scroll down, and we're now we got LXD75 adjust. Let's see what that is. Drive setup. Let's see what the drive setup's got. For this operation, use a terrestrial object. So we're sitting inside, so we don't necessarily we don't have a terrestrial object. After each step. When the object is centered. Okay, so basically we need to, this is to set up the backlash for your drive motors, your right extension, your declination. I've read a little bit about this, and this is probably something we need to go out and do. Basically find a roof pitch to point at, you know, a good object, and point it at it and do your drive setup. And I'm gonna probably try to do that maybe tomorrow. I don't really have much going on, so maybe I can walk through that tomorrow, and then we'll go back. I'll give a brief explanation on what it entailed. So for now, we're gonna hit the mode button. That's the backup button, and your different percentages. I've never messed with it. Smart drive. So we're going to scroll down to the smart drive here. Periodic error correction, on or off. Let's enter it. Periodic error correction is off. Let's turn it on. What do you think? On. Enter. Alright, so now our periodic error correction is on. What that should do is, after we've used the scope some, it should you know, after you slew to a couple different objects, it should help train the motors and the hand box to more precisely, if you find that you keep having to center up an object, that should help fix that. And you can see there's a glare on the front screen there that my camera wants to focus on rather than the lettering there. So and then you got a PEC array, so if you ever don't get it right, you can erase it. There's train, center star, press enter. Alright, well, we're in, like I said, we're inside again. So next time I get the scope out, I'm going to do the train. PEC update, center star. Okay. So all these are pretty much things we got to do outside. Let's back out of the smart drive. Train drive. Let's see what that details. Train drive. Here, AZ and RA, which is right extension train. Drive setup. For this operation, use a okay. So we got to use a terrestrial object again. There's your alt and your declination train. Same deal. And we'll back out of that. Let's see what else we got. Tracking rate. Okay, this is one thing that's pretty cool. It's more of a user preference. Is the reverse left and right, and then you've got a reverse up and down. So depending on how you like to use your buttons here, you could actually reverse it to how you're looking through the scope, you know, at your star, because you know when you look through the scope, when you move it as far as actually right, your eyepiece is going to look like you're going left. So you can swap that to however you want to. There is a quiet slew setting. There's a max elevation to basically keep your telescope from going too high, and minimum ASO, if I remember right, I think that has to do with the ground, to where it doesn't let the scope go down but so far. Yeah. We're going to hit mode and just back out of that. And then there's a calibrate motor setting, which is the next one. Alright, you hear it working. It's testing out the motors. You've got a, I guess it did it. Let's do it again. Alright. That was the calibrate motor. We can go to high precision, which you turn high precision on or off. Let's turn it on. Why not? I like high precision. Let's see what else we got here. Telescope, and now we're back at the telescope model. So alright, so that pretty much does the setup on the scope. Targets, which are basically terrestrial, you know, astronomical, pick, site setup, that's the next one down. You can select, like I've got home set in for my coordinates. You know, you can set your country and state. Afghanistan, you know, there's states and countries all mixed in here alphabetically. Most of you are probably going to end up finding out that there is not the place that you live in here like I did. And basically what you want to do is you want to go to edit. Like I've got home already programmed in. Let's see if we can go to the edit part. Edit name, edit latitude. Basically what you're getting into here is where you can go in and actually, yep, 35, 35, you can actually put your coordinates into where you are. Ooh. And actually put in where you are, your time zone. I had an issue with this the other day. In one of the previous videos I was kind of mentioning this. I wasn't sure what the time zone setting was supposed to be, and I actually went to a website called World Time Zones and I actually looked it up, and in North Carolina, or the East Coast here that I'm on, we are 5 plus 5. Which brings me to another question: is the 5? I'm gonna back this up here. Let's do 0.5. 0. That should be 0.5 hours plus 0.5 hours. Because if you put a 1 in there, you could be 11 hours. So we're gonna do 5 hours is what the time zone from the international date line. We are 5 hours behind. So we're going to enter that, and then we're back to the other deal here. So let's select, add, delete, edit, get out of site, owner info, clone. You can clone this for another handbox if you want. Download, load software, press enter. We've already done that, so we're going to move back. Statistics, 1.83 characters. This just tells you how much your version, how much is free. Reset, align, and then basically from there you're pretty well set up for the gist of it. Your events, guided tour, glossary, utilities. Let's go to utilities. You got a timer. You can set a timer, alarm, eyepiece calculation. Let's mess with that here. Field of view. Let's enter field of view. Wide 7. Let's see what magnification. There we go. Let's do this. Let's see what this gives us. Because I had a 30 or a 40 millimeter. Let's see what that. So I was telling you wrong actually. My 40 millimeter magnification on this scope is only 25.5 magnification. Pretty cool, huh? So in this, it does the calculation for you. Or you could just divide your focal length by your millimeter size of your eyepiece, and that gives you the magnification. Suggest best viewed with ultra wide 6.8 millimeter. Field of view. So I would assume you can probably point this thing to a object in the sky, and then it'll suggest what kind of eyepiece to use. As I'm sure the sales department will want you to buy a whole bunch of them. There's brightness adjustment for your red LED screen, contrast, beep, battery alarm, landmark survey, sleep scope, which in other words just turns the scope off. And then enter to sync, synchronized. Okay, and then of course the other main thing you need to really know how to use is park scope. We're going to park the scope. Alright, and it's ready to be turned off. So we just reach up there and turn it off. And as you can see, my scope is not in the home position. So I will put it back in the home position, because that's where it should be when you park your scope. And that's something you need to do, just like putting your vehicle in park. You need to put your scope in park, because that is the start point for this scope, and it will make life a heck of a lot easier if you just get in the habit of doing that. So there you go. Alright, so we went through just the basic setup menu very briefly and just kind of had a look. Like I said, the hand box isn't very complicated. There are some things in there that take, you got to look up and you got to figure out, but it's a little more prehistoric than anything that makes it a little hard to do. So but that's pretty much your basic setup. Other than that, you fire this thing up, do your alignment, and once you've done your polar alignment, do your 3 or 2 or easy alignment, and you're pretty much, once you got that stuff plugged in there, your coordinates and all your stuff, which my latitude and longitude was pulled off a polar finder, plug those in. I did look up the definition of the daylight savings time, and I did look up on that World Time Zone website the the time zone that we're in here on the East Coast, which is plus 5 hours. And I'm gonna go back and double check that just to be sure. And we got it all plugged in. This thing should track right on the money. And we turn on the error correction, the periodic error correction, and some other different cool things. And hopefully maybe tonight I can get this thing out and try it out a little bit and see if we've made some significant changes and see how it does. So that's it for this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe and give me some thumbs up, and as always, comment for anything that you got, any suggestions, and happy trails.